Bismillah-ir-Rahman-ir-Rahim. The topic is Safranbolu, Turkey, preserving memories of a Muslim rural society. There are a number of smaller historical communities in the Islamic world whose traditional townscapes and Muslim cultural heritage have been largely preserved, which we present as destinations of special interest to Muslim travelers or to others who would like to explore and experience Islamic culture while enjoying a safe and comfortable tourist experience to the best international standards. Safranbolu, population about 45,000, is located in the western Black Sea region of Turkey, some 100 kilometers from the coast, 410 kilometers from Istanbul, and 220 kilometers from Ankara. Proclaimed a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994, it is one of the few Turkish towns to have preserved largely intact its historical built environment and the character of the provincial Muslim community which created it. Walking its meandering cobblestone streets with its many striking Ottoman houses and lively bazaar, where artisans continue to produce traditional wares as they have for centuries, the visitor can enjoy a journey back through time into the pre-modern world of rural Islamic Anatolia. The town takes its name, City of Saffron, from saffron, the pistils of the saffron crocus flower, highly valued in cooking and pharmacology, which have been cultivated here from ancient times. As Muslim Turkic peoples progressively colonized this area of Anatolia from the 11th century onwards, Safranbolu developed as a market town, an important caravan station on the ancient trade route linking the strategic port of Sinop to the north with the principal east-west caravan route across north-central Anatolia. It reached the height of its prosperity and prominence in the 18th and early 19th centuries, resulting in the townscape we see today. The western Black Sea region is dominated by a series of high mountain ranges running parallel to the coast, which protect the lowlands between them from harsh winter winds. The settlement, now known as Safranbolu, was established at a fortified location at the confluence of deep ravines cut by the Akçasu and Gumuz rivers. On flat ground below its castle walls, the town's centre, Shahir, also called Shukur or Kharsharshi, grew with bazaar, craft workshops, and principal religious and civic buildings. Its residential quarters spread outwards from this urban core along the slopes of the river valleys, shielded from the worst of the winter weather. Opposite Shahir is the district of Kiranköy, formerly a non-Muslim district, where the town's minority Greek, Turkish-speaking population lived, engaged in commerce, shoemaking, tailoring, winemaking, and stonemasonry. In 1923, following prolonged inter-ethnic conflict across Anatolia, all were deported during the compulsory mass population exchange of Christians and Muslims between Turkey and Greece. Muslims from Thrace, Rhodes, and other parts of Greece were allotted their properties in Kiranköy, their church becoming today's Ulu Jami. A little to the northwest of Shahir lies a fertile expanse of orchards called Bagla. Prosperous Safranbolu Muslims spent winter in their townhouses and in summer moved here, where they could take pleasure in their cool, spacious houses set in large gardens and tend their fruit trees and seasonable vegetables. Safranbolu served as the administrative and trading centre of a considerable region whose economy was based on agriculture, forestry, and animal husbandry. In the town, produce was brought and sold, artisans worked, and business was transacted. Leather production and related industries were the most important manufacturing activities, to which a whole section of the bazaar was dedicated with a shoe market where popular light flat-heeled shoes called Yemeni were made, another specialist cobbler street, and a saddler street, and one where pack saddles were made. Metalworking was also important, specialist ironsmiths having their own dedicated market area where they continue to work today. Throughout its Muslim history, Safranbolu benefited from the patronage of prominent local individuals serving at the ruler's court or outsiders who were stationed in the region as provincial administrators. Its most imposing structure, the caravanserai of Chinshihan, was built by Karabajde Hussein Effendi between 1640 and 1648. A native of Safranbolu, he became mentor of Sultan Ibrahim, 1615 to 1648, and rose to the extremely powerful position of chief military judge of Anatolia. Other notables financed other essential elements of the community's infrastructure, including maktabs, madrasas, communal fountains, hammams, and bridges. The commercial and manufacturing core of Safranbolu was also the focus of its religious life. The oldest of its numerous mosques is the Suleiman Pasha Jami, Eski Jami, built in 1322. In 1661, the Albanian Koprulu Mehmet Pasha, Grand Vizier of Sultan Mehmet IV, 1648 to 1687, built a mosque next to the Yemençiler Çarşısı. The most noteworthy and largest mosque is that of locally born İzzet Mehmet Pasha, 1743 to 1812, which he built when Grand Vizier to Sultan Selim III between 1794 and 1798. His benefactions included a clock tower built in 1796 or 97, the first in Turkey. The clock itself was imported from London and featured a bell to announce prayer times. In the Ottoman world, Sufi tarikats played an important and integral role. In Safranbolu, the Naqshbandiya are recorded as meeting in the Kalealti and Haidar Aga lodges, while the Halveti Jerahi Brotherhood met in the Ali Baba lodge. Striking evidence of the status of the Naqshbandiya at the peak of Safranbolu's prosperity is the beautifully executed waqf document of Izzet Mehmet Pasha, which came to light recently when auctioned in London. Through this deed, he endows his mosque in Safranbolu as well as the Naqshbandiya mosque and meeting place, Dargah in Ayub in Istanbul, the site of Turkey's most ancient shrine, where Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, companion of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who died there during the Arab siege of Constantinople in 674 to 78. He was buried there. The old town of Safranbolu provides us with many insights into Ottoman provincial society before the many changes which occurred with Europeanization in the mid-19th and 20th centuries. Families were largely self-supporting units, producing not only most of their own food, but also the textiles and clothing they needed. Craft production and trade mutually supported one another within a system of craft guilds which regulated quality of manufacture, honesty in commerce, and the strict conformity of their members to Islamic norms. Historic Safranbolu is much more than an interesting open-air museum, however. It provides a window through which one may contemplate a past community in which a homogeneous and harmonious social structure was sustained by shared religious values, which stressed both self-reliance and cooperation and favoured simplicity above extravagance. For those wishing to visit Safranbolu, it is easily accessible from both Istanbul, about 6 hours, and Ankara, about 3 hours, by frequent, comfortable, and inexpensive coaches. A helpful tourist information office in Safranbolu's main square can advise on visitors to local sites. There are many cultural events throughout the year, including the acclaimed International Golden Saffron Documentary Film Festival, which is held during the last week of September every year. There is also an interesting municipal museum, Kent Tarihi Musezi. A wealth of accommodation is available in Safranbolu, which can easily be booked by the internet. A stay in one of the beautifully restored houses offering accommodation is recommended. Safranbolu's many cafes and restaurants offer excellent traditional Turkish cuisine, as well as Central Anatolian regional and local specialities. Official information is available from the websites, embassies and consulates of the Turkish Ministry of Foreign Affairs.